Smart 24, driving business.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to Smart Men's Business. Today is the very last day of the week for most of the civil servants and the like, for those that tend to work from Monday to Friday, and it is the 24th of May, and we welcome you to Smart Men's Business. My name is Masi Katsime and I'm with Doreen Kemcha. I do not know how morning is, but she'll let us know actually. But the morning is, yeah, it's okay, it's all right. Hoping that you've already set pace, you're ready to kickstart your day, and I believe this is the week, still even next week, officially students will be going to school, and business is now booming now that students are hoping to go to school. At least those that do sell scholastic materials are making some money.
Yes, a very good morning, Mercy.
Good morning.
It's a delight to be here as well. True what you say. Actually, kids started going back last week.
Oh, last week.
Yeah, in some schools that break off 1 week earlier, and but the sentiments that are coming in right now is it's not picking up that quickly. It's not picking up that quickly. There's not quite a lot of money in the economy moving around. So parents are having a little bit of difficulties, and the turn up is a little bit very slow. And moreover, it was just a 3 weeks break. Just 3 weeks holiday.
Like just yesterday.
I know.
They just broke off yesterday.
I know.
And then they are back at it. And moreover, they do, coaching, and it's too much for
mental health for the children. Your topic that you've been passionate about.
I love mental health.
Now imagine, imagine instead of getting that break, I mean, for quite some time, the pace just keeps on. You have home now, and then you think you're going to relax, but then you have this holiday package to do, because they always give them the holiday package, and then in addition to that, you have. You're still back at it, and that's just 3 weeks. 3 weeks of that, of no rest actually, just one day, maybe Sunday.
Do you think that is why most children do not know how to do housework, and because they're occupied with school and studies?
Yeah, by the way, they say so. They say so, but there's that bubble, and it also depends really on which area you're talking about. Are you talking about the urban area? Are you talking about the rural area? Because if it's the rural area, then this is time for weeding. So it's time for weeding. So the priority is being given to weeding as well. First go there, weed, and maybe take even one entire week before returning to school, because it's weeding time. Let's maximize your presence here. When you get into the urban setting, then it's totally different. There's a lot of fixation on passing.
Well, of course, talking about weeding, and of course, still looking at this week's, and of course, we're going to be looking at agriculture, and of course, we're looking at agriculture tech.
Yes, embracing new agriculture tech
and how modern tools boost crop yields.
I love that topic. I love that topic. For all our viewers, this is really, we are looking at the agriculture sector all through these entire weeks. We are dissecting and beginning to give insight on some of these. Looking at them, is it paramount? Is agriculture of essence? Is it relevant? And how far? What are the strides? What have been the emerging gaps? Have they been rectified? What can be done better? What are the farmers saying? All this and more on right here, SMB, is what we shall be talking about on Smart Men's Business.
Yes, and of course later on we shall be looking at the G42 to invest in $1 billion in Kenya. Microsoft partnering with we're going to be looking at Microsoft partnering with United Arab Emirates AI Farm, and of course looking at investing also 1 billion as well. Yeah, that is also something you have to look out for. The Tari surpasses research target. Yes, that and more when you keep locked on. And of course, violence in the New Caledonia affect the nickel prices. Yeah, and that and more. Well, of course, talking about the modern ways, technology and how it has really improved our crop yields. We are now shifting from the fast way of yielding.
Which was totally... Yeah.
No. Our days it was...
Yes.
It took time. Annual crops took their time. And perennial crops also took their time compared to now, because there is probably demand on the market. You feel like you have to get the fastest seed that grows. And that's why most people are consuming GMOs. And now they are trying to phase them out. People want organic. And the GMOs tend to grow a bit faster. In a space where it takes 3 months or 6 months, it's growing within a month. We
were talking about it recently. We talk a lot. I was talking about it with a couple of friends of mine who really are agriculturalists, and they were saying there's a particular nut, the ground nut, the very small one.
Yes? The original one?
Yes, the original one. Actually, like you said, the original one. It has disappeared. It has totally disappeared. But even when you go to look at it, what is there right now is the fatter one. I think it's called Serenat. It is fatter. It is quick yielding. It is, it is also very fast. The time it takes is quicker, is much quicker. But then the preference is still with the other smaller one.
Obviously, it's what we are used to. Because even I have a friend who does Chipotle.
Yes.
And they were like comparing
the
OD, comparing to...
Compared to the other one, they will always prefer the other small one.
The taste is different.
And we must give credit as well to the research organizations. There's Narrow, there's all these others, which are really doing so much. There's new soybeans, there's the nuts coming in, the groundnuts, there's the maize, and all this. But the reality about it sometimes is there's a preference for the older varieties.
Obviously.
Now the challenge also that comes in is when it comes to for example, keeping these old varieties. How are they being kept? How are they being stored? Yes? Because they are disappearing out of the communities. My friend was telling me that they had been searching for that nut. And some of the nuts that come in that were the original ones, once they get into these containers where they sell them, you find that within 2 hours, the tons have just gone. The people have bought them out. They first always go for that because it's actually the best. And even when they're making that OD, they get more of that one and then mix it a little bit with the fatter ones, which are the GMOs. But still talking really technology, getting down to that massive, honestly, you can't do without it. Okay, you either jump ship or you get out. That's the reality about it.
Looking at how we can incorporate, the old system, the old
varieties,
old varieties with this new tech.
Are you talking about maybe utilizing the old seeds, the old varieties? Yes. And then utilizing this particular, because you see every time they're looking for higher yielding crop seed varieties, right? So for you, if you're using the other old ones, maybe they take 4 months, and they even give you less kgs at the end of the day. But these ones will give you more kgs, and within 3 months you'll be harvesting. You see, right now we're looking at food security. So how does the farmer come in? The farmer right now, if you look at it, why is Kabale, the region of Kigezi, having issues and really lagging behind as a food basket as it used to be? One, because you no longer get Irish potatoes. When was the last time you got Irish potatoes when you went back home? You come from Kabale. It's way back. Even Kisoro right now is dwindling down. We are getting Irish potatoes from Kapchora, from Kenya, yes, and Kabale, which used to be synonymous with cabbages, or carrots, and Irish potatoes. Right now, most of the efforts are being taken to that high-yielding bean varieties called Musinjiru. That is what most of them are planting right now. And guess what? A kilo is what? 6,000? Between 5,000 to 6,000. Now, a farmer will come up and argue with you and say, why should I, on my acre, put there these cabbages here, of which they're going to give me 800 to maybe 1,000 shillings, when I know I can, out of an acre, I can get my, if it has really done very well and I put the manure there, it can give me around 2 bags. That is 1 million. Yes, 1 million, or even two. The others that get actually 3.5 bags from an acre. And imagine if you put there your cabbages and they are giving you different. So the preference right now is not even just looking, especially from the side of the farmer. It's not necessarily really looking at food security. They are looking at what is going to give me income.
Very fast.
Yes, quicker, honestly. And that is why...
Now, I can imagine if the farmers that have to take their kids to school now.
Exactly. And that is why you'll notice that some of these interventions that come out are really looking at food security. Can we give this faster yielding crop variety, seed variety for them to plant so that they can be able to have food quicker? Whereas the farmer this side is thinking, can I have something that I can sell quickly to give me money so that I can be able, one, to take my kids to school, and two, be able to have something to fall back on, you know? So that there is that gap, there is that particular gap especially. This is why you find out traditional crops that used to be within areas such as Kigezi are really dwindling out. There's not only just talking about the theft, really, that you plant your Irishes, tomorrow they are not there, you know, someone will come and harvest for you. But it is the fact that that bean variety is doing quite well. It commands quite a lot, even on the market within urban places such as Kampala. That particular one goes for, I think, 5,000 to 5,500. That particular type of beans. Yes. Yeah. So you don't find everywhere you go within that area to Kisoro. It is just that Musinjuru, because it's staked. It's on a pole.
The
climbing plant, the climbing bean. So these are some of the things that we get to talk about actually within those emerging gaps. Yes, we're talking about technological agriculture technology coming in, but what are the emerging gaps and what is their impact on food security? What is their impact on farmer behaviors? What is their impact, you know, on globally everything? Just notice that the prices are going up every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
True.
You know, I don't buy beans often. I don't buy beans often, but the time that I did, I felt, I'd run out and I felt, let me get some beans, and I had to buy 5K. But it hurt me, you know, it hurt me because I'm used to you know, we harvest beans, you know, where I come from. So for me to get out 5,000, a kilo of beans, to me was exorbitant. Now imagine getting back into the village and someone is telling you, we are actually buying beans on a regular basis. This is someone who is not very able, you know, in income, and they're telling you they're buying beans. One, because they harvested and sold. They harvested and sold, Mercy.
They did not have much more to keep.
Yes, whatever little you have left you is basically for eating, because you can't take away everything. But whatever little that you have, basically you're also thinking about, you know, your family. So you find out it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. They need money, but the monies are taking off almost all the harvests. Yeah, so it's really quite sad.
Don't you think this machinery have an impact on the soil?
The machinery?
Yeah, the one.
I haven't really looked into that particular research as to whether that. I think what they're looking about is efficiency.
Yeah.
Really in agriculture.
Because there are machines that can actually plant seeds.
Yeah.
In like the shortest time possible, instead of using the old method of there are like 100 people, 10 people. Yes, but however, something was also mentioned, I believe, especially when you look at that plowing machine, that it digs deeper.
It digs, it digs deeper into the soil, not like the oxen plow, because the oxen plow is just almost relative to where to the depth of the hole. But with machines, huge machines such as those, the concern was they dig further down, deeper into the ground, and then lift out, the moisture, the soil that they lift it up to the top. The soil that actually would have would have stayed down and had most of the nutrients. It had a couple of moisture conserving components. I believe there was research that was done in regards to that.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Something about with the soil.
And you can see how it is. You know?
It's really
yes.
long and...
Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's been preference, and we've had some farmers say that not only just the implication of having and maintaining, of buying and maintaining a machine like that, but it's also basically the fact that, you know what, our terrain is such as this. I have my oxen, my bulls. Yes, I have my bulls, I have my plows. Can I use that? Yes, I find it better to use that. That is what the farmers were saying. I find it better to use that. They need no fuel. I just keep it home, give it grass, take care of it. If it is sick, I know I'm going to spend maybe 30,000 getting a vet to give it something quick and things like that. But the moment that particular machine, that huge machine breaks down,
one spare part.
That one spare part literally it's huge. But also you've had, also Mercy, looking at technology, you've actually had very many efforts coming. Some of them have been through the president being able to equip farmer groups within the rural areas with machines such as this. And
I don't understand that initiative, but don't they bring fights at the end of the day, village? Like you stay with it for long. I'm also in need of it. And others like, no, I
think they have a good rotation, a rotation schedule. But the challenge with it is maintenance. Yeah. Yes, when it comes down to maintenance, it's a challenge, because collectively as a group, yes, you have got it. It's gone to farmer A, who maybe has 8 acres, then farmer B has 3 acres. So also that particular schedule, and of course the more income you have and the more status within the community you have, the more access you have to it. Because this not only came out with in the health system, utilizing the ambulances that had been donated to communities, but as well as some of these agriculture inputs that basically come in, the squabbles about who should use it the longest, and then when it breaks down, it comes out, you're the one with 8 acres, me I have 2, so you should be bringing in at least, you should be bringing in 500,000, I should be bringing in 100,000, so those are some of the squabbles that really come in, especially at community level.
It's a good business actually if you bought that machine and you lease it out. It's a good business. Yes. And you're leasing it out. It's a really a good business. You just have it at your home. Whoever needs it, they pay you, because at the end of the day you don't.
But can they afford it? Can they afford it? Can they afford it? Look at the oxen. Hiring the oxen right now is 70,000 an acre. An acre. One, because I'm in touch. Yes, I'm in touch with some of my colleagues who are doing this, and it is 70,000. Actually, that is the lowest. Between 70,000 to 80,000 in areas such as Soroti.
An animal. Oh, wow.
Yes, with its plow. An acre. And remember, these are places that really, one, you're not going to do that once. You have the first breaking the ground, and then you come in again the second time when you're going to really now pull out the weeds and prepare. So that is 140,000 an acre. Round it off, if it was 75,000, that is 150.
So if you had more than an acre?
Now imagine. Do you see? So if you have 10 acres, that's 1.5. So how exclusive is it? Because if I know I have my team of women, yes, and they have bibinas. Yes, we rely quite a lot of bibinas in Kabale. And what is the daily price, the wage? It's around 7,000, 6,000, 7,000 for the women. So if it's a group of 6 women, basically that is around 42,000 if it's at 7, and then I have to feed them. You see, I have to feed them. Now imagine, and they will do quite a good job, and then there is solidarity, there is bonding. These are also, because it's not even only just digging, it's the cohesion. Because you know, at the end of the day, these women, if at all I don't have any money, at the end of the day, they will understand. I will maybe get some porridge, cook for them, and have some posho and beans, and then I will not even pay them that day. I will tell them, you know what, I am stuck. Come and weed for me, because we use them, those farmer group, the groups, the collective groups that come up and help with digging. But then when you come down to places such as Soroti, it's an expanse, you know, huge land. You have families such as my friend's family that have, you know, acreage in hundreds, you know. So going to get in, and there's 10 acres is 1.5. Indeed, that's why she tells me that most of the times, most of the land is underutilized, because the expenses just keep growing. The seeds, those particular seeds you've been talking about that are high yielding, are very expensive. Then in addition to that, you need the fertilizers, because if you don't apply fertilizers, you're not going to do anything much. You're not going to actually harvest anything. And then in addition to that, there also is the preparation, 1.5. 150, roughly 140 to 150 per acre, just in preparation. You can imagine.
Well, right about now, we're going to see what is happening to the press.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing here, actually here.
Yeah, here.
Well, I have the monitor, and she's going to be taking us through what is happening in the region. And of course, fresh fights erupts over the new budget allocations. Trust me. And of course, the 72 trillion because they said a portion of the 72 will go to debt financing.
Yeah.
Debt repayment.
Yes.
And of course, the executive is reportedly unhappy that the legislators use their power to move around allocations to certain votes and endorse the budget without the knowledge of the Ministry of Finance technocrats. 72 trillion. From actually 52 was more. 72, that's time. That is an addition of 15.
Yeah.
Of 15. Now, of course, how government secured release of Ugandans from Myanmar. Yeah. And of course, senior news against new IGP in vetting. Wow, Uganda is interesting.
How just give us a little bit of what happened to the Ugandans in Myanmar. Had they gone there for employment? What was it? Was it a racket? You know, slavery racket, because that is on the increase as well these days. People have to be very careful. Please, viewers, take caution.
People here, I don't want to fly out of the country. Do you know what you're getting yourself into?
It
is not. Sigara oriama toke go, oriech commando cho. Trust me, there's nothing good out there. I'm not a spoiler, please.
It's not all doom. Actually, there's quite a lot of employment and opportunities, really.
Yeah, for experts. You know, when you're an expert on something, that is when you get. But you're doing housework. You are anyway. And a total of 23 Ugandans who were trafficked.
Yeah. You see? Yes.
In the last few years, yesterday returned to Uganda. And of course, a group returned abroad, Ethiopians, which touched down in Teve shortly before midday. And of course, they are received by officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And of course, hoping they have to go and do checkups on them, you know, psychologically. I even don't know. People are okay. Perfect. Yeah, and of course, this followed months of decisions between Ugandan government and their counterparts, and their Thailand, their Thai counterparts, and the IOM. Well, of course, the Ugandan trapped in this country actually shared a video asking government to rescue them. Now, of course, several Ugandan youth with IT skills were lured to Thailand with a promise of employment. desperation-ishness, the desperation. Me, it's just the desperation for me. You have been longing to get a job, and probably you're doing something, and there is an open opportunity. They're like, IT, you're like, I mean, you don't care whatsoever. Whatever is going to happen, you're like, I'm in.
From what the news, what was really getting around the news is during that time is that adverts were put out the same way you have, recruitment agencies come out and say we need this. So the area that was put out was IT, and they said these particular skills are going to be put for in use, and you're going to get this amount of money. There's this big IT project and what industry that is here. However, when they got there, then they were put into sort of like warehouses. Their passports were confiscated. I think it's the same batch. Maybe it's different because the same one was as well from, I think it was still around Thailand. But the thing about it is that the travel documents were all confiscated and then they were put in a warehouse and basically put within a scamming sort of like, network. So basically they would sit down at the phone and then call different people.
Seeing your cybersecurity business.
Exactly. Call different people to scam them, fraud related activities.
Wow.
And then for the women, in news, the women were being told that basically if they cannot be able to get those particular victims to bargain someone to scam, either you would be beaten or you would be, your monies, because you're supposed to make money, you would be actually sold into prostitution. So you either scam someone or we will take you forcefully into prostitution or basically sell off a body part or something like that. So you had quite a number, not only just Ugandans, but you had Kenyans, you had that fell victim to this kind of thing. And it's not only just Uganda that has managed to secure the release of 23. You've actually had a lot, you've had Kenya as well, the Kenyan government intervene in some of the predicaments of those that have gone abroad and gotten stuck, not only within the Arabian countries, up in the Middle East, but as well as Thailand and places such as Myanmar. So it's not, I think it's just not necessarily just Uganda that is falling victim to this. It's a larger on the continent.
I'm seeing over 100,000 foreigners trapped.
Yep. Yes.
There. So
yeah,
it's about cyber security. They target more poor countries.
Yeah.
Where there is a lot of unemployment.
That's why I said it's not only Uganda. It's not only Uganda. You have Kenya. You have places such as South Africa.
Yes,
on the continent. That is rife. Let me just give. The poet started. Yes, the Pearl of Africa. Started yesterday, the 23rd. It will be running to the 25th at Munyonyo. A great opportunity to showcase what we have as well, and this one actually, that particular story, in according to this, says 23 Ugandans were held by Myanmar rebels. Those were as well rescued. There's still a lot of mourning going on, of course, for the fallen Iranian president, such sad news. And then, yes, the warming up towards the Martyrs' Day is still ongoing at Mugongo. You still have quite a number of them, of the faithfuls walking. Are you faithful enough?
June
are you? Yes. Are you faithful enough? Government raises cultural leaders' pay to 60 million.
I want to be a cultural leader.
Through the Ministry of Gender, previously government has been giving a monthly stipend of 5 million to each traditional leader. Now you know. But last year, Museveni pledged to increase their emoluments to enable them mobilize their people to engage in social economic activities. So the Gender Ministry, in its policy statement, had presented the item of funding cultural leaders as unfunded priority. However, while preparing the 2024-25 financial budget, Parliament adopted the recommendation asking the government to provide 31.33 billion for payment of 60 million monthly salary to each of the 17 gazetted traditional leaders. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Where is your Kabali traditional leader? Where?
I don't know. I don't know if we have one even.
Yes.
And of
they
course-
should be able now to come in. In some news, still talking about agriculture, rescue farmers from greedy brokers. We had this conversation yesterday with Andrew about how brokers continue to come in and actually actually take most of the profits that the farmers
Exactly.
that have worked the most. Cooperatives still on the increase. There is quite a lot of potential for cooperatives to come in and rescue farmers from this situation. Such a great potential for cooperatives in Uganda to do so. The challenge, I think, what have you heard so far, Mercy, about cooperatives coming in? You not only from my side, from what I've heard, for those members, talking about, yes, is a couple of things, especially with membership influence and the low bargaining power. But we shall look at this later on as we get in after the break.
Yes, after the break.
Okay.
Smart 24, driving business.